I always get pretty excited when I hear that other professionals use holistic techniques like Reiki. I myself am a Reiki practitioner and also pranic healer, so whenever I hear a professional like a lawyer that practices Reiki, I just think it's so fantastic, because I think anybody in any high stress level profession should be practicing Reiki. I am so excited because I found the most amazing man. His name is Duane Light, and he has a company named Peace in the Law, and he's a holistic lawyer. And for those people that know me, they know that I love meditation. I love to learn about frequencies and vibrations, and this man has the right frequency and an awesome vibration. And Duane, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, well, I'm a licensed attorney here in California for about 28 years now, and I'm a holistic attorney. For me, that means, first of all, I do everything I can to be a complete human being on my own, just emotionally intelligent and mentally clear and relaxed and calm. And meditation is a big part of that. My goal for myself is to be centered and grounded, present, emotionally intelligent as much as I can, and to really use those skills to help support my clients.
I love it. So what kind of law did you practice before?
I started with a personal injury attorney when I got out of law school in Seattle, so I worked there for a year. And then I did a lot of environmental and human rights law and anti-nuclear law, both in Montana, where I was raised, and in Seattle. I worked with Greenpeace and Washburn and several other groups. I helped with a successful lawsuit against the Department of Energy that kept dangerous nuclear waste from being shipped into the Seattle port. Worked on a program to help shut down the Hanford Nuclear Reservation, which was the most nuclear polluted place on the planet at that point. So that was some of my early work. And then after I got out of law school, about a year later, I met the founder of Rainforest Information Center in Australia, John Seed. And the day before he met me, he had thought to find an environmental lawyer to send to Malaysia and Borneo to help with rainforest protection and native rights. So I was obviously the guy, and several months later I was on a plane to Malaysia.
Wow.
So that's a little bit. I don't know if I answered your question.
You did. So you come from a very interesting background in law. And now you are a peace and law man. So how did you transition from a practicing attorney in areas where are challenging and sometimes difficult too, especially dealing with big giants, right? So how did you transition from being a personal injury civil law attorney into what you do now?
Well, the transition was quite a process. I've thought about this in the last day or two, and it really goes back to my early childhood, my childhood trauma. I was off and on with my mother from the age of 3 days, actually, in childcare at times. And when I was back with her for about 4 years, she was with a ex-Marine, alcoholic, abusive stepfather who beat me and abused me quite a bit. So anyway, I had a lot of personal healing to do, and almost everybody has some kind of trauma, deaths in the family, job loss, financial, climate, relationship, accidents, etc. So in the decades that I've worked on healing my own emotional trauma and getting my mind in a better place, I've done just many, many emotional healing and development workshops. I'm trained and certified as a meditation teacher. I'm also certified in a particular kind of very compassionate inner emotional work. So all of that, all of those years led me to a place where I became more interested in helping my clients as people, no matter whether I was representing them in any kind of a case, litigation, contract issues, real estate, bankruptcy, IRS issues, on and on. I practice in a wide variety of areas, but it's more this way of practicing where I help my clients to not only be more calm and centered, but also have resilience and strength so they can show up for themselves as a good witness.
I love it. Sometimes I'm not an attorney, but I am a human being, and I'm an emotional human being. And on my right here, I was talking to my friend, and I told him, for me to have a good day, I have to ground myself. So I have to ground myself, put my feet on the ground, and just picture the earth, grabbing my feet and holding me tight and steady. And then whatever crap the day throws at me, I'm okay. I can keep going on. When I don't, I'm a bitch. I'm mean, because I'm not grounded, and I'm not capable of dealing with challenges during the day when I'm not grounded. I'm not, I react, I don't process, and sometimes the way that I react is not the best way to react. And I think a lot of people in any industry, lawyers, risk managers, mothers, fathers, any human being, we go through that journey in our lives where, like you mentioned, we do have some sort of trauma or stress in our lives. And I just love the fact that you are an attorney that has had so many challenges, and you can teach and coach people on how to be their best selves by calming all those emotions and having a better day, having a better outcome with their cases, and overall their lives. So I understand that you're a holistic lawyer, and when I say holistic lawyer, I'm thinking of holistic medicine. When I think of holistic medicine, I'm thinking of Reiki or some energy work like that. So how would you describe yourself if I say Duane Light is a holistic lawyer, since you're not a holistic practitioner? Maybe you are, but when I think holistic, I think maybe acupuncture, I think Reiki, I think even massage therapist. So how would you consider yourself, or how would you describe yourself as a holistic lawyer?
Okay. Well, I am trained in Reiki, and I've used Reiki throughout this later part of my life in very profound ways with family. And also, while I was in Asia, I studied Tai Chi and Qigong and yoga quite a bit. And that also opened up my energy. So I'm very aware of energy work and the energy of situations. So that sensitivity is very useful. As a holistic lawyer, it's not only being more whole myself and taking care of myself, but holding the whole situation, seeing myself as serving peace and healing and resolution as much as possible. And that begins with my client. So I do a variety of meditations and practices to help my clients. There's movement work, stretching, certain exercises. When your body is toned and you can stand upright and solid, not in a power way, but just in a confident, solid way, and still have this softness and humility and openness, and you don't walk into court or into deposition with your emotions churning. Because if you walk in with a lot of anger or defensiveness or fear or depression, avoidance, you're ready to pass out and run away, all of those will lead to a bad performance. And what I want my clients to do is to show up at these important hearings, depositions, interviews, in that kind of grounded, centered way where they've dealt with their inner world, so it doesn't come out at the worst moment under pressure. So the process I teach my clients involves breath work, meditations, emotional processing, this gentle inner emotional work, so you face your emotions in a very accepting, self-loving way, and you can feel into them or hold them or dialogue with them, but you want to work with those emotions before you're in these stressful situations. So there are also some polyvagal exercises to get you out of the sympathetic fight or flight mode and into the parasympathetic, more relaxed and grounded mode. And there are a lot of interesting little exercises, like just pulling on the ears right here, for example. If you pull on the musculature in front and behind the ear, that's part of the vagal nerve system. And it, like I can feel it right now, it just immediately starts to calm the whole body. So I have a variety of those kinds of things that I teach my clients. And part of it is also self-awareness. You need to know when you're stressed out, when you're being overwhelmed, when you're in anger, when you're in depression. And I also teach what's called the sacred pause, or the gracious pause. So that means when you're triggered, instead of reacting, you recognize, oh, I'm triggered. It may not be the best time to flash off a text or an email
right.
or call somebody.
Right.
But what happens is emotionally, when we have an intense emotion going on, we want to get rid of it, and we think that by acting out, I've got to clear this emotion. I have to respond. I have to get rid of this, and that's what moves us to make these really bad decisions and really harmful actions. In the circumstance of a law case, if you have two people constantly firing at each other in anger, attorney's fees are going to go through the roof. Your court case is going to last longer. You're going to be losing more sleep. You're going to be more stressed out. It affects your relationships, etc. So this gracious pause, you just recognize, okay, I need to take a break before I react. And you do it graciously. You tell the other person, oh, this is big. I need to think about this for a day or two. I'll get back to you. So you graciously create some space, and then you go do your breath work, run a mile, exercise, yell into a pillow, whatever methods you use, or do this sort of inner emotional work and clear. And then when you're more clear, you've come to even some compassion for the whole situation. This is the best, is to recognize, wow, the other person is going through this too. And once you can start to have just a little bit of care and empathy for the other person, that is going to show up in the case. That is going to calm things down, right? So you're going to be more calm, and when you do decide to act, it's out of a conscious decision rather than an emotional reaction. So you decide what is going to be the most calming thing I can do here, and not in a giving in way. You're very strong and clear on what you need and what you're right. You just don't do it in a combative way. You just hold your space, but also recognize and show some care for the other person. That's the optimum. And I've seen cases, really difficult, bitter cases, just resolve in days when one person does that.
I think I understand what you're saying. Especially in the legal field, there's a lot of emotions. Some people feel they've been wronged, and some people take the case very personal. It could be the insurance company or the defense attorney or the plaintiff attorney, and sometimes it's just emotionally driven. And I've seen it how that just turns bad sometimes. So I totally understand what you're saying. Now, if say that you have a lawyer that has to pick jurors for their trial. You say, you're aware of your energy, and you kind of feel the energy yourself because you are aware of the energy around you. If an attorney had to go in a room and select potential jurors, do you look for anything in particular? Using the awareness of your energy to say this could be a good potential juror and this could maybe not a good potential